Did you see our video on the moon landing?
No.
Oh, this is one of my favorite videos we ever did. So, it's about how the moon land. The thesis is the moon landing could not have been faked.
Okay, let's go there, Capcom on the hot fire. Okay, all flight controllers going around the horn, gonna go for undocking. Okay, Retro, go. Fido, go. Guide, go. Control, go. Telcom, go. Jinsei, go. Econ, go. Surgeon, go. Capcom, we're go for undocking.
The Chinese have announced plans to go to the moon and will likely beat the United States. After numerous setbacks like the Apollo 1 fire, malfunctions in Apollo 6, and challenges during the Apollo 8 and Apollo 10 missions, the Apollo 11 mission marked a significant win in space exploration. Despite the tragic loss of life and damage to spacecraft in previous missions, the successful landing on the moon during Apollo 11 was a monumental achievement. But what if everything you knew about the moon's characteristics and origins must be corrected? Joe Rogan, the well-known host of the Joe Rogan Experience, has recently shed light on hidden secrets about the moon that space agencies have allegedly concealed. What is this secret? And how wrong is the implication of this discovery? Let's find out. Hidden secrets. Re-examining the moon landing. Have you wondered if the entire moon landing was a hoax? After more than 5 decades, we have yet to replicate such a remarkable achievement. The Apollo 11 mission 1969 was an extraordinary milestone as humans first set foot on the lunar surface. However, significant advancements and technological progress have made lunar missions more feasible since then. Notably, a popular podcast host, Joe Rogan, has recently shared his thoughts on efforts to recreate this historic feat, delving into various theories that have emerged since the initial moon landing. While the moon landing of the 1960s may not have been a hoax, space agencies kept certain undisclosed aspects hidden from the public. Moreover, China has recently deployed a robotic spacecraft to gather lunar samples, leading to new and intriguing discoveries beyond NASA's control. Keep watching to discover why Joe Rogan believes the moon is not what we perceive it to be. Before we explore these recent findings, we need to understand some context. Decades have passed since the end of the Cold War, and the United States has undergone significant transformations in various fields. Several investments in research and development have been made across sectors such as artificial intelligence, robotics, renewable energy, and advanced manufacturing. In addition to these endeavors, the United States has set its sights on reviving and advancing its space exploration initiatives. While the prospect of exploration itself is undeniably exciting, Michio Kaku, a prominent figure in the scientific community, injects a dose of realism by urging us to consider the military implications of venturing into space. Interestingly, he suggests that although we may not witness a traditional space race akin to those of the past, it is crucial to ponder the military angle of space exploration. Kaku cleverly points out the potential disturbing motives that could emerge as lunar visits become routine, with major players like Russia and China actively developing hypersonic drones, touted as the weapon of choice. He argues that while the moon might not hold immediate military value due to its accessible proximity, the broader implications are worth considering. If you thought Russia and China actively developing hypersonic drones, touted as the weapon of choice, was surprising, brace yourself because we're about to reveal Jeff Bezos's dream of transforming Earth into a pristine park by shifting heavy industries to space for a greener planet. This realization unveils the strategic depth of space exploration and the potential military implications lurking within the race to develop cutting-edge weaponry on Earth, particularly in hypersonic drones. In this scenario, the United States Space Force emerges as a critical player, initially underestimated by some but revealed upon closer inspection to play a crucial role with control over more than half of Earth's satellites. The Space Force assumes a vital responsibility in safeguarding our economy and communication systems. It recognizes the paramount importance of defending assets in space, but also underscores the necessity of avoiding an unbridled arms race. Michio Kaku sheds light on covert U.S. moon exploration efforts, adding another layer to the celestial narrative: the involvement of private individuals. Now, we delve into private individuals' involvement in space. Visionaries like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are propelling space exploration forward. Musk envisions a multi-planet society, pushing humanity beyond Earth's boundaries. Bezos dreams of transforming Earth into a pristine park by shifting heavy industries to space for a greener planet. Both embrace space's vast resources and potential, presenting contrasting yet captivating views on its future. The private sector's role adds intrigue, fueling innovation and shaping human presence in space. Musk even sells lunar tourism tickets, introducing the prospect of a moon honeymoon. Meanwhile, China's lunar missions, the military implications discussed by the U.S. Space Force, and the ambitious goals of private entrepreneurs collectively mold the future and expand our understanding of the universe. While the race to reach the moon seems to hold minimal military value, Earth's conflicts unfold faster. Yet concerns escalate with the prominence of hypersonic drones, with Russia claiming operational superiority and China actively pursuing the same technology, setting the stage for a potential shift in the global balance of power. If you were amazed by China's lunar missions, get ready to be astounded by the fascinating discoveries they've made recently. In a twist of lunar fascination, researchers have stumbled upon a perplexing revelation. Water exists in minuscule glass beads scattered across the moon's surface. China's Chang'e 5 lander made this groundbreaking discovery during its mission, leaving the scientific community bewildered. Imagine the excitement when these water-filled beads were meticulously collected and scrutinized. The results, now published in the prestigious Nature Geoscience journal, have illuminated the mysterious realm of lunar water, sparking curiosity about its implications for the future of space exploration. To circumvent this problem, they formed a group of research scientists who ventured into spherical glass beads to learn the mysteries of 117 beads. The crew aboard it carefully scooped the lunar soil for the Chang'e 5 lander robotic manipulator operating on its brutal campaign. In addition to other modern techniques, such as emission scanning electron microscopy, electron probe microanalyzer, and Raman spectroscopy it is used over the secrets behind these moon secrets. These X-ray spectra are known for their unmatched ability to identify the presence of glycerol and sulfate content inside the glass beads. Since the beginning of the exploration of the moon, scientists have pondered about where the original water existed, how it was distributed, and how it was in the stage of evolution in the lunar regolith. Correspondingly, Joe Rogan's statements focus on the issue of the landing site selection and carry on detailed results of the work. Therefore, according to aviation history, this news concept is an important journey of landing a human being on the moon. According to the recent launch of the Chang'e 5 spacecraft, broadened the awareness of water resources, reflecting the persistent sustainability issues of the Greater Mekong Subregion, GMS. This initiative demonstrated human genius and scientific prowess, showcasing how humanity is technologically capable of retrieving fresh lunar samples and bringing them back to the spaceship. The lander of Chang'e 5, packed with an extraordinary robotic arm set, collected samples carefully and stored the history in water-containing glasses that looked like beads. While the argument offered by Michio Kaku is that the lack of water may have resulted from a prolonged period since surface missions, the recent discovery of water through studies of the moon's atmosphere is clear evidence that water on the moon exists. Asia has been the only continent apart from the Soviet Union where there has been a successful soft landing with the lunar surface since the Luna 24 mission, which was made in 1976. A 37-year hiatus of nearly 40 years, a significant void in lunar exploration. Despite this, the future looks promising with exciting initiatives. NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services program is set to launch a series of missions, including the Volatiles Investigating Polar Exploration Rover, Viper, scheduled to touch down near the moon's south pole before the end of 2023. This groundbreaking mission aims to search for ice, a vital resource with immense potential for future lunar activities. While concrete evidence of ice may take time to surface, experts remain optimistic about these initial signs of water presence. Previously, it was believed that water could only exist in the moon's dark, shadowed regions, but now the lunar landscape holds new mysteries waiting to be unraveled. Stay tuned as Joe Rogan explains why the moon isn't exactly what we think it is. What are the fascinating discoveries China has made recently? The recent Chinese lunar exploration, Chang'e 5, has brought to light intriguing revelations that reveal the hidden secrets of the moon and shift our thoughts to rethink why the moon is. As for the most critical issue, Hydrogen in moon rocks gives a new vision in which we can rewrite our theory of the moon's magnetic field. The research is groundbreaking and indicates how hydrogen bonds to the rock grain, showing how the mild crust was a boiling lava ocean for a long time. The fact that scientists suggest that liquid silicate with embedded magnetic elements, utilizing magnetohydrodynamics principles, have such magnetic fields in their inner core gains rationality. Now, the hydrogen element in the moon rocks has become the key indicator that shows the behavior of the magma ocean soil, which has been widespread from now on Earth. It works not only through magnetic field generation, but also in the projection of the overall environmental temperatures. The plot thickens when considering lunar bombardment and asteroid impacts. Conventional wisdom would expect these impacts to erase any magnetic imprints on the moon's surface. However, Chang'e 5's revelations challenge this assumption. Consistent crater densities on both sides of the moon imply the presence of a magnetic field shielding the lunar surface from destruction. Hydrogen's role in moon rocks aligns seamlessly with the theory proposing a richer lunar magnetic history than previously believed. This nuanced narrative suggests that once considered a passive observer of space's violent forces, the moon may have experienced a dynamic magnetic history. The hydrogen-infused moon rocks offer a glimpse into an unexpected past, indicating that magnetic fields played a crucial role in shaping and preserving the lunar landscape amidst the cosmic chaos of asteroid impacts. In essence, the Chang'e 5 mission adds new dimensions to lunar exploration and challenges our assumptions, expanding the horizons of our comprehension of the moon's magnetic fabric. The most recent discovery to get the scientific community's attention is the possibility of surface water on the moon. NASA's SOFIA has become a leading tool through the Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy. This instrument, known as SOFIA, can reveal this lunar loop. Having the prospect of the mighty infrared telescope SOFIA standing behind learners will not limit them to the fuzziness of the atmosphere, which instead changes it so that new mysteries of the universe will be revealed. Employing the high-resolution SOFIA instrument, the Clavius crater, the second largest visible from the Earth, having 231 kilometers across and a depth of 7 kilometers, measures the temperature in volcanic regions and nuclear exposure levels, and detects internal energy sources, 5 kilometers deep. This immense crater is simply a remarkable chapter in the story of the vast geological on the moon's surface. There were the water molecules detected by their instruments within the limited lunar space, but confidently undebatable. This additional piece of the puzzle on lunar water distribution increased the intricacy. Such a noble endeavor has undoubtedly overpassed what we comprehend with our lunar investigations and has illuminated questions regarding future sustainable tasks, resource utilization, and human settlements. Dr. Hannibal's research proved to be a scripting breakthrough in space science. They allowed us to look at the moon in a completely different way, which, in turn, provided us with new opportunities to research its unknown features. The astronauts of Apollo landed on the moon for the first time and believed that there was no water on this desolately empty landscape in the eyes of the people at that time. Yet the rocks they brought back implied the problem was solved before it had even started, in a way that the moon was composed of the same ingredients as ancient Earth. Intriguingly, however, these fantastic discoveries were regarded as nothing but contaminants. So to speak, the lunar cafeteria was, in an instant, drained of all the thirst for knowledge we had. However, a paradigm-shifting revelation has reignited our curiosity. Water is present on our planet's satellite of love. The fact that the moon is comprised in the same way as Earth is not just shattering preconceived notions, but also presents new ideas for future explorations. Moreover, it creates a platform for scientists to craft a new story regarding the human relationship with the universe. In addition to water, China has recently discovered a new mineral on the lunar surface. Amidst the moon's dusty regolith, Chinese scientists stumbled upon a transparent crystal named changesite. Why? This groundbreaking finding positions China as the third nation, after the United States and Russia, to identify a fresh rock type on the moon. The revelation of changesite, Y, emerged from a modest collection of lunar regolith meticulously gathered by the Chang'e 5 rover during its lunar expedition in 2020. The rover's precise landing in the mysterious Oceanus Procellarum known as the Ocean of Storms, uncovered this lunar treasure near Mons Rumker, an area rich in volcanic history. The rocks and soil, estimated to be a relatively youthful 1.2 billion years old, were procured using a sophisticated technique combining a mechanical scoop and a drill capable of penetrating 2 m beneath the lunar surface. Think China's recent lunar findings were astonishing? Just wait until you hear about their discovery of a lunar gem. In stark contrast, NASA's 1970s sample return mission unveiled regolith dating back between 3.1 and 4.4 billion years, highlighting the moon's geological diversity. Chinese scientists unearthed a singular particle of colorless, transparent crystal resembling a miniature diamond within this lunar treasure trove. This crystal, classified as a phosphate mineral and belonging to the cryolite subgroup, is chemically associated with phosphate. What makes this crystal extraordinary is its secret ingredient, helium-3. How was helium-3 discovered on the moon? And how can it be harnessed? China's exploration of the moon has uncovered a celestial treasure, helium-3. This unassuming isotope has taken center stage due to its potential to revolutionize our energy landscape. While helium-3 is not a newfound element in our scientific arsenal, its abundance on the moon sets it apart as a lunar jackpot awaiting exploitation. The moon's unique conditions, devoid of a protective magnetic shield, subject its surface to relentless solar wind and cosmic radiation. In this lunar crucible, helium-3 is born, a rare isotope with 2 protons and 1 neutron. This stable anomaly in the atomic realm holds the key to an unprecedented nuclear fusion reaction between deuterium and helium-3, promising an astounding 164.24545 energy per gram of helium-3. To grasp the magnitude of this potential, consider the Hoover Dam, a hydroelectric giant generating 11,000 megawatt-hours daily. Remarkably, a mere 67 grams of helium-3 could rival this colossal output. The staggering implications offer a tantalizing glimpse into how lunar resources could satisfy our ever-growing energy hunger. Adding to helium-3's allure is its promise of clean energy. Unlike conventional nuclear reactions, neither helium-3 nor its reaction byproducts emit harmful substances. This translates to a game-changing absence of radioactive nuclear waste, addressing a significant concern tied to nuclear energy. Our primary source of helium-3 is a byproduct of the decay of tritium isotopes in existing nuclear warheads, yielding a meager 15 kilograms annually. This scarcity propels helium-3's price to astronomical heights, exceeding $17,500 for a single gram. Venturing into the moon's vast expanse, helium-3 emerges as a beacon of promise, offering a captivating glimpse into a cleaner, more potent energy future. This versatile element, currently engaged in small-scale nuclear fusion experiments, is also pivotal in advanced medical imaging technologies. Its significance extends to neutron radiation detectors stationed at U.S. border crossings, scanning for any hint of nuclear materials. Within the moon's celestial treasure trove, helium-3 is rumored to reside in abundance, with an estimated 1.5 million metric tons scattered across its lunar landscape. This astronomical figure equates to a potential resource value of approximately $1.2 quadrillion. A mere 100 tons of helium-3 would suffice to fuel global nuclear fusion initiatives. Imagine China's pioneering Chang 4 mission, strategically positioned on the moon's far side, diligently uncovering these coveted helium-3 deposits. China not only asserts discovery, but also claims to possess an efficient method for extracting these essential isotopes from lunar soil. Yet the challenge lies in the scale of extraction needed to impact Earth's energy landscape significantly. Lunar soil's highest estimated helium-3 concentrations hover around 50 parts per billion, introducing an extra layer of complexity to the extraction process. Although China remains discreet about precise concentration figures, it's evident that extracting meaningful quantities demands extensive space mining efforts. To produce just 1 gram of helium-3, an estimated 150 tons of lunar regolith would need processing, a formidable task. The complexities don't end there. Transporting these lunar riches back to Earth poses another intricate challenge. In the relentless pursuit of harnessing the moon's untapped energy potential, China embarked on its celestial odyssey on December 7th. The Chang'e 4 mission, paying homage to the Chinese moon goddess, lifted off from the Xichang Satellite Launch Center with the robust Long March 3B rocket. Since December 13th, it has gracefully navigated away from Earth, refining its communication and data prowess. Upon touching down, the mission delved into the uncharted expanses of space, diving into captivating scientific experiments. Discovery of a lunar gem. Chinese scientists made a surprising discovery from the moon rover Yu. After meticulous scrutiny of images and cross-referencing with Apollo samples, they stumbled upon a lunar gem, an ordinary moon rock with an extraordinary twist. Unveiled in July 2019, this lunar surprise adds an enthralling layer to our understanding. The jelly-like glassy substance, a dark green shiny mass, stood out like grandma's fanciest jewelry, becoming a lunar oddity. Measuring a mere 52 by 16 centimeters, this mysterious dark green substance captivated attention due to its uniqueness. Unlike typical moon dust, it didn't blend in but stood out, challenging scientists to unravel its mysteries. This cosmic escapade broadens our cosmic horizons and injects mystery and intrigue into the familiar lunar landscape. The brilliant minds at the Chinese Academy of Sciences spilled the cosmic beans in a scientific paper, unraveling the mystery of the dark greenish glowing impact melt breccia discovered in the serene von Karman crater on the far side of the moon. Away from the celestial commotion, this lunar gem sparked the curiosity of lunar detectives armed with advanced analytical tools. Through detailed analysis, scientists determined that the dark green substance was a unique type of impact melt breccia, a rock formed from the intense heat and pressure generated during a meteor impact. The breccia contained a variety of minerals, including olivine and pyroxene, which gave it its distinct color. Further examination revealed tiny beads of glass scattered throughout the rock, likely formed from the rapid cooling of molten material. The discovery of this impact melt breccia provides valuable insights into the geological history of the moon. By studying the composition and characteristics of this rock, scientists can better understand the processes that have shaped the lunar surface over billions of years. If you thought finding a lunar gem was surprising, get ready. We're about to reveal something even more astonishing. NASA's lunar orbiter has taken incredible photos of the Apollo program's remnants on the moon's surface. NASA expansion. At the time of Kennedy's proposal, only one American had flown in space, less than a month earlier, and NASA had not yet sent an astronaut into orbit. Even some NASA employees doubted whether Kennedy's ambitious goal could be met. By 1963, Kennedy had even come close to agreeing to a joint US-USSR moon mission to eliminate duplication of effort. With the explicit goal of a crewed landing replacing the more nebulous goals of space stations and circumlunar flights, NASA decided that to make progress quickly, it would discard the feasibility study designs of Convair, GE, and Martin, and proceed with Faget's command and service module design. The mission module was deemed valid only as an extra room, and therefore unnecessary. They used Faget's design as the specification for another competition for spacecraft procurement bids in October 1961. On November 28, 1961, it was announced that North American Aviation had won the contract, although its bid could have been rated better than the Martin proposal. Webb, Dryden, and Robert Siemens preferred it due to North America's more extended association with NASA and its predecessor. On July 1, 1960, NASA established the Marshall Space Flight Center, MSFC, in Huntsville, Alabama. MSFC designed the heavy lift-class Saturn launch vehicles, which would be required for Apollo. Faget's early design for Apollo featured a cone-shaped command module, supported by various service modules for different missions. Once Kennedy announced the moon landing goal, detailed work started on a command and service module, CSM. This CSM would house the crew for the entire mission, including liftoff from the lunar surface. The CSM would be soft-landed by a larger landing module. Later, the plan shifted to lunar orbit rendezvous, changing the CSM's role to a ferry for the crew. A new spacecraft, the Lunar Excursion Module, LM, later known as the Lunar Module, LM, would take 2 astronauts to the moon's surface and back. The Apollo Lunar Module, LM, was designed to descend from lunar orbit to land 2 astronauts on the moon and take them back to orbit to rendezvous with the command module. Before Apollo, von Braun's team began planning large launch vehicles like the Saturn and Nova series. Von Braun moved to NASA and led the Marshall Space Flight Center. Initially, a direct ascent plan required a Nova-class launcher, but a switch to lunar orbit rendezvous enabled the use of the Saturn V rocket. This decision led to the development of the Saturn rocket family for Apollo. Joe Rogan's Experience proclaim. In a recent captivating episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe Rogan passionately proclaimed that our perception of the moon is far from what we have assumed. With a twinkle in his eyes, he exuded a palpable mix of enthusiasm and caution, alluding to a treasure trove of ancient secrets that have evaded human understanding for countless ages. Rogan revealed that long-lost civilizations, obscured by the relentless passage of time, have left behind perplexing clues regarding the moon's true essence, clues that possess the potential to redefine our cosmic comprehension. In essence, Joe Rogan sparked a celestial revolution, unearthing hidden chapters of the moon's enigmatic narrative and beckoning humanity to gaze beyond the familiar craters, inviting us all to venture into the unexplored realms of the cosmos. This voyage promises to captivate our senses and expand the horizons of our understanding. Apollo Applications Program. Looking beyond the crude lunar landings, NASA explored various post-lunar applications for Apollo hardware. The Apollo Extension Series, Apollo X, proposed up to 30 flights to Earth orbit, utilizing the space in the Spacecraft Lunar Module Adapter, SLA, to accommodate a small orbital laboratory, workshop. Astronauts would continue using the CSM as a ferry to the station. This study was succeeded by designing a more extensive orbital workshop to be constructed in orbit from an empty SIVB Saturn upper stage and evolved into the Apollo Applications Program, AAP. The workshop was intended to be complemented by the Apollo telescope mount, which could be attached to the ascent stage of the lunar module via a rack. The most ambitious plan envisioned using an empty S-4B as an interplanetary spacecraft for a Venus flyby mission. The S-4B orbital workshop, named Skylab, was the only one of these plans to materialize. It was assembled on the ground rather than in space and launched in 1973 using the two lower stages of a Saturn V. Equipped with an Apollo telescope mount, Skylab's final crew departed the station on February 8, 1974, and the station itself re-entered the atmosphere in 1979 after the development of the space shuttle was delayed too long to save it. The Apollo-Soyuz program also utilized Apollo hardware for the first joint nation spaceflight, paving the way for future cooperation with other nations in the Space Shuttle and International Space Station programs. In 2008, Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency's Selene probe observed evidence of the halo surrounding the Apollo 15 lunar module blast crater while orbiting above the lunar surface. In 2009, NASA's robotic Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, while orbiting 50 kilometers, 31 miles above the moon, captured images of the remnants of the Apollo program left on the lunar surface and each site where crewed Apollo flights landed. All of the U.S. flags left on the moon during the Apollo missions were found to be still standing, except the one left during the Apollo 11 mission, which was blown over during that mission's liftoff from the lunar surface. The degree to which these flags retain their original colors remains unknown. The flags from Earth cannot be seen through a telescope. In a November 16, 2009, editorial, The New York Times expressed, "There's something wistful about these photographs of the Apollo landing sites. The detail is such that if Neil Armstrong were walking there now, we could make out his footsteps even, like the astronaut footpath visible in the photos of the Apollo 14 site." Perhaps the wistfulness is caused by the sense of simple grandeur in those Apollo missions. Perhaps, too, it's a reminder of the risk we all felt after the Eagle had landed, the possibility that it might be unable to lift off again and the astronauts would be stranded on the moon. But it may also be that a photograph like this one is as close as we're able to come to looking directly back into the human past. There, the Apollo 11 lunar module sits, parked just where it landed 40 years ago, as if it still really were 40 years ago, and all the time since merely imaginary. The Apollo program has been hailed as the most significant technological feat in human history. Apollo sparked technological advancements, resulting in over 1,800 spin-off products by 2015. These include innovations in cordless power tools, fire-resistant materials, cardiac monitors, solar panels, digital imaging, and the utilization of liquid methane as a fuel source. The design of the flight computer used in the lunar and command modules and the Polaris and Minuteman missile systems drove early research into integrated circuits, ICS. 1963, Apollo accounted for 60% of the United States IC production. The critical distinction between Apollo's requirements and those of missile programs was Apollo's heightened emphasis on reliability. While the Navy and Air Force could mitigate reliability issues by deploying additional missiles, the potential political and financial ramifications of an Apollo mission failure were deemed intolerable. What do you think is the most interesting discovery about the moon? Let us know in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe for more.